Hey folks, it's been a while, but I'm back with another practice SQL mock interview question. This time I want to focus on questions that Meta might ask. So I'm on Stratascratch. I've already filtered for Meta, for hard questions, for questions that I haven't solved yet. And the reason I want to do this is because I recently went through the interview process at Meta for their data scientist product analytics position. So I've practiced a lot of these questions already, but I didn't solve all of them. So let's get to it. I'll pick one. Let's try this one, time between two events. See if it's taking a while to load. Okay, so I'll start the clock. As you guys know, my rule of thumb for hard level questions is to solve it in 7 minutes or less. So let's get going. Meta's web logs capture every action from users starting from page load to page scrolling. Find the user with the least amount of time between a page load and their scroll down. Your output should include user ID, page time, scroll down time, and time between the two events. Okay, so they want 4 columns. We just have one table, and they want to find. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is find the time between page load and scroll down, and then I'll want to get the user with that least amount of time. Okay, so first I will create a CTE just for the page loads. PL stands for page load as select user ID. What do they call it? Timestamp from this table where action equals. And actually, I just need to know how they spell this. So if I run this, oh, are they not going to let me? Bear with me here. Oh. Oh my gosh. Guys, rookie mistake. Okay, so they call it page load. And I also want I want to make sure that it's their first page load, I think. So to do that, I'll use a window function. Partition by user ID, order by timestamp ascending as row number. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but for the scroll down. So SD for scroll down. And okay, so scroll down. Okay, so what I've got right now are two CTEs, one that represents the timestamps for the page load and one that represents the timestamp for the scroll down time. The next step then is to subtract them, those two timestamps, and then find the user that had the least amount of time. So I'll select from page load, I'll join scroll down on user ID equals page load.user ID. Let's see. And I also want the very first page load. So to do that, I'll filter for where the row number for page load is 1, and the same thing for the scroll down. So I'm getting the very first scroll down. And then what columns do I want? So they wanted user ID, the page load timestamp, the scroll down timestamp, and then of course the time difference. Guys, another thing about Meta's interviews, at least for the data scientist product analytics position, is that you cannot run the SQL code. There's no option to run it. However, what you write has to work. So I know I ran this code one time, but that's just because I needed to see the spelling of page load and scroll down. If you ever interview at Meta, in the actual interview, they'll give you like some sample output so that you can see what would happen if you ran select star on that table. But again, you can't run the code to check it, so that makes it kind of hard. Like I don't know if maybe I've made a syntax error here. Hopefully not. let me read the prompt again. Your output should include the user ID, page load time, scroll down time, and time between the two events in seconds. Ooh. So that's kind of tricky. If you don't know this syntax off the top of your head, it could be a problem, but that's why you got to spam Stratascratch before your interviews. The way to make it in seconds is to cast this as time, and I'll just call it time diff. And then we want to order by the time difference ascending. So that means the person with the lowest amount of time is first. And then they want only the one user. They want only the user with the least amount of time. Okay, so let's double check this, because again, at Meta, you can't run this. So I've got a CTE with the for page load. I've got a CTE for scroll down, and then in my final query, I'm joining them on user ID, and I want the very first page load and the very first scroll down, and I am subtracting the scroll down time minus the page load time, casting as time to get seconds. I'm ordering it by that time difference in seconds so that the person with the lowest time shows up first, and I'm limiting it by one because they only want that one user. So let's check the solution. Oh, I made a spelling error. Okay, that worked. Let's go back. So why was this hard? Okay, I solved in a little under 7 minutes, so that's good. But so I think there's a few reasons why this is hard. Um, there's not a lot of, like, there's only 3 rows of instruction. So, grokking the question, sometimes the question will have a lot of instructions or a lot of context, and it makes it hard to grasp it quickly. In this case, there's only 3 rows, so it wasn't that complicated. I think it was hard probably because it required using a couple of CTEs. It required using window functions. And then I think also casting this as time is hard. Like if you don't use SQL a lot, and by the way, at least when I interviewed at Meta a couple of weeks ago, they didn't allow the use of AI, so you can't just look this up. Like if you don't know how to cast this as time to get seconds, like look, this output is in seconds, but if I just subtracted the 2 timestamps together, it's not, the output's not going to be right. See, it says 9, so it's not in seconds. Although I wonder if Stratascratch would still take it. Yeah, they don't, because the question specifically asks for it to be in seconds. So that's probably the trickiest one. If you don't happen to know how to convert that into seconds, that would be tough. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful for you guys, and let me know how you do on this question. See you next time.